Before that, though, we're going to bring in Michael Sheen in just a moment to talk about the National Lottery. But first, let's look at him in action.
Good evening. I shall resign the presidency at noon tomorrow.
This is an historic day, the only time a president has ever resigned from office.
Nixon knew about the Watergate cover-up.
The man who has committed the greatest felony in American history will never stand trial.
What was that like?
Wow, it was extraordinary.
Yeah?
To be recreating that interview. I've done a couple of big interviews now.
Yeah. We've actually got his son with us as well.
Oh, really?
Wilf, yeah. You there, Wilf?
Indeed.
Hi, Wilf.
How you doing, Michael? Good to see you.
Oh, good to see you. How are you?
Very, all the better for seeing you, Dad. No, it's a bit weird to me. That.
Yeah, well.
We used to make that joke to poor old Michael had to endure it for the years he inhabited Dad. Well, it was a bit odd to do it now, years after Dad's left us. But it was a role, Michael, you had to play for an awful number of years.
It was, and I'll never forget meeting your dad for the first time after he'd just seen the play, because we started doing it as a play.
I remember.
And I remember coming down to the bar, and he was standing there, and he looked quite shaken by the experience. And I said, how was it? It must have been strange. And he said, in the words of Yogi Berra, it was like deja vu all over again. And I always remember that. And then I got to meet him, you know, many times after that, and became very, very fond of him.
Yeah.
We're going to chat to you in just a second, actually, Wilf, but stand by if you would, because Michael's here to talk about the National Lottery today.
Yeah, today is, unbelievably, the 30th birthday of the National Lottery.
I can't believe that. It seems like yesterday.
1994. And over those 3 decades now, they have raised £50 billion to go towards good causes all across the UK. So hundreds of thousands of projects that have been funded by the money that has come from it. And as part of the celebration, they're highlighting 30 game-changing moments, they're calling it, over those 3 decades that have been able to happen because of the funding. And one of them, I'm very proud to say, of those game-changing moments is the Passion that I performed in Port Talbot in 2011. So I feel very proud to be a part of it.
Tell us about it.
Oh, well, it was life-changing for me. That 2011, it was the first year of the National Theatre of Wales, and I created and co-directed and starred in this production that was one performance, a single performance that lasted non-stop for 72 hours all over the town of Port Talbot, my hometown, and involved thousands of local people to put it on. And then thousands upon thousands of people came to Port Talbot over those 3 days to come and see what was going on, and eventually they became part of it. And it changed my life in all kinds of ways, but it changed the lives of everyone who was involved in it in some way. One of the reviewers who wrote about it said that for that weekend, Port Talbot was the happiest place on earth. And it seemed to kind of act as a catalyst and galvanised a lot of things after that in the town. People started businesses up, people talked about how they were inspired by what happened and started their own projects. And that's sort of typical in a way of what the National Lottery funding has been able to do. It's not just these big game-changing moments, but it's life-changing for the people who get involved. And across the whole of the UK, it is it's sometimes in a hidden way, you know, you don't know about it. They've been able to, that funding has been able to be a catalyst for the ripples of effect that have happened in communities with innovative projects and all kinds of a knock-on effect. And it creates such a sense of national pride, I think, and community spirit, you know. And so my involvement with the Passion ultimately led to me moving back to Wales, living there, it's where I live now, and getting more and more involved in those sort of community projects, the kind of thing that the National Lottery has funded. And it's sort of changed my whole focus, really, now. The acting work sort of pays for trying to do the same sort of thing, get involved, start projects, fund, support people who are already out there doing things. And so it's been life-changing for me.
I remember it being a big challenge, actually, when John Major, the then Prime Minister, tried to... It was during his reign, wasn't it? And there was much upset by many people who thought, no, we don't want to do this. We don't want a national lottery in this country. But look what's come from it.
I know. I mean, I was one of those people. I remember in '94 thinking, what's this? What's going on? But then as you started to find out what the money was going towards to help and support, it completely changed my whole view of it. And now When you look back at all those moments, those 30 game-changing moments, things like the Angel of the North being unveiled, near Gateshead, the Eden Project in Cornwall.
Yes, I knew that.
Huge projects like that. But then sporting events, the Millennium Stadium, Dame Tanni Gray-Thompson winning 2 gold medals in the 2005 Paralympic World Cup in Manchester, even up to the Eurovision Song Contest in Liverpool, last year. These are extraordinary events that have been able to happen because of that funding, as well as all those very grassroots projects as well. So it's an extraordinary thing, I think, and one to be celebrated.
What are you up to now?
Well, I spent most of this year playing Aneurin Bevan in the National Theatre production of Nye, a play about him and bringing the NHS into being. And it was so popular, amazingly, that we're doing it again next year. So I'll be donning my pyjamas to play Aneurin Bevan again.
I wonder what he would think of the NHS Nye.
Well, I think he would probably feel like there has to be just as audacious a vision to reimagine, the whole NHS, based on the principles that he founded it on. But I think it does need to, be fit for purpose for now, for the needs of society now.
Do you get involved with politics?
Well, in and out. Working on the passion, that was sort of what opened my eyes to a lot of things. Seeing what was going on in my local community that I had no idea about, the sort of organisations that were there to support people, and seeing how little money they had, how little support they had, and how much they went unnoticed. It really made me kind of go, well, I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of supporting that. And inevitably, you start to see the big picture, and it inevitably becomes part of a political vision of things as well. So, I come in and out of it.
OK. And 30 years' time, how do you think we'll be talking about the lottery then?
Well, it would be amazing to think that in another 30 years to look back and go, look at all these things that have happened. You look at the past 30 years and the amazing projects, the amazing transformation of certain areas and communities that have happened because of it. It'd be amazing to think that could carry on for another 30 years and get even bigger and better, I hope.
Yeah, everybody's thrilled that you came in today, so thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
It's going to take you a while to get out because there'll be so many people wanting selfies with you. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Thank you. Will standing by for us, as I said. Wilf, I'm guessing you're going to be talking about the farmers today.
We of course we are, Kat. I'm just going to say very quickly, though, about Michael, because it came across there in that interview. There were so many people I got to meet, famous people, important people growing up, who might have been lovely if Dad was standing next to me, and then less so if I encountered them again. And Michael is the opposite of that. He just always was so nice and charming to my brothers and I and our friends and all that. And it's not always the case, as you know as well. We won't name and shame the others, but he's just such a nice man. Great to see him on there.
Thank you, Wilf.
We'll be talking more about the farming. As you said, at the top of the 10, we've got a farmer joining us live. We'll be joined by the Shadow Farming Minister for Wales, James Evan, at 10:30, and building up to some of those keynote addresses you said from about 11 onwards. Of course, bad weather, but farmers know how to deal with bad weather, and it's not going to put them off. We're expecting big numbers, as you've been discussing all morning, Kate.
Absolutely. I don't know how we're going to follow you. Oh, yes, I do. Jason Derulo's on the show.
Well, you're going from someone with zero musical talent and rhythm to someone with it in abundance. So I think you've saved the best till last there.
Well, let's see. Coming up in just a few moments. Thanks very much indeed, Will. Thanks.